Aisha, what are you saying? My voice shook as I stared at her across the table. You want a divorce? Just like that. She didn't blink. Denial, I'm tired. I'm tired of struggling, tired of bills, tired of watching you chase dreams that never pay. I felt my breath break. So you're leaving me because I'm not rich? I'm leaving you, she said quietly, because Zion can give me the life I deserve. My fingers curled against the edge of the chair. Zion? You mean that businessman you said was just a friend? Aisha, seriously. He respects me, she snapped. He understands my worth. He doesn't waste years on dead plans. My chest burned. Dead plans? That's what my work means to you. She sighed. Denial, please don't make this harder. I've already signed the papers. You made this harder the moment you decided money mattered more than our marriage, I said, trying to keep my voice from breaking. Did you ever love me at all? I loved you, she whispered. But love isn't enough. Not anymore. I leaned forward, begging her with my eyes. Then tell me why you didn't talk to me first. Why didn't you give me a chance? I gave you years, she said. Years. Denial. And nothing changed. Because I believed in us, I said, louder than I intended. Because I thought we were building something together. She stood up. I'm sorry, but I'm choosing a better life. I swallowed the words rising in my throat. A better life without me. She didn't answer. She just walked to the door, paused, and said, Don't call me. It'll only hurt more. Aisha. But she was already gone. The silence that followed felt heavier than the room itself. My phone buzzed. Horace. I answered with a cracked voice. Horace, she left. What? Denial, what happened? Talk to me. I sank onto the couch. She wants a divorce. She's with Zion. She said I'm a failure. Bro, that's insane, Horace said, anger rising in his voice. Where are you? I'm coming. Don't, I whispered. I don't want anyone to see me like this. I don't care how you look, he said. I'm coming. Minutes later he burst in. Denial, he said softly, dropping beside me. Tell me everything. She didn't even hesitate, I said. She talked like she'd already moved on. Like I was nothing. She's blind, Horace said. You're worth more than she can ever see. I rubbed my face. If I was worth anything, she wouldn't have walked out. He grabbed my shoulder. Don't say that. A person's greed isn't your fault. I looked at him. Horace, what do I do now? You breathe, he said. You survive today. Tomorrow we'll figure out the rest. I let out a bitter laugh. Survive? My whole life was tied to her. Every plan, every dream. Then make new dreams, he said. Ones that don't depend on someone who can throw you away. I stared at the empty doorway. It hurts, Horace. It feels like someone cut something out of me. I know, he whispered. And it'll hurt for a while. But this pain, it won't kill you. It'll push you. I shook my head. Push me where? Anywhere better than here. I sighed. There's a job offer in Africa. Dangerous work. Long hours. But they pay well. Horace frowned. You're actually thinking about leaving? What do I have here? I asked. A broken marriage. A future that died tonight. You have me, he said quietly. You have your mother. I looked down. If I stay, I'll drown in this pain. If I leave, maybe I can rebuild something. He studied my face. Then go. And when you come back stronger. I nodded slowly. Yeah, stronger. Because right now, I've got nothing left to lose. Horace pushed the door open and said, Denial, come in. You're not staying alone tonight. I stepped inside and sighed. I couldn't stay in that apartment anymore. It felt like a grave. I figured, he said, handing me a glass of water. Sit. Talk to me before you explode. I dropped onto the couch. Everything in that place reminded me of her. The empty closet. the ring mark on the table. Even the silence felt like her voice saying I wasn't enough. Horace sat across from me. "You're hurting right now, but this isn't the end." "It feels like it," I whispered. "I gave her everything I had." "She wanted something you never owed her, money you didn't have yet," he said. "That's on her, not you." I looked at him. "Why wasn't I enough?" "Because she couldn't see your worth," he said. "And one day she'll regret it." I shook my head. "Regret doesn't fix anything." "No," he said, "but rising does. You're stronger than you think." I leaned back. "If I'm so strong, why do I feel hollow?" "Because you loved her," he said. "Love leaves wounds." My phone started vibrating. I glanced at the screen. "It's Amy." "Pick it up," he whispered. I answered. "Assalamu alaikum, Amy." Her voice trembled. "Denial, Beta, Horace told me what happened. Is it true? You're leaving?" "Yes, Amy," I said softly. "I can't stay here right now." She began crying. "How will I live knowing my son is so far away? Why can't you stay with me until your heart heals?" "Because staying will break me more," I whispered. "I need space to rebuild myself." "Beta, Africa is dangerous," she said. "People say strange things about the work there." "I'll manage," I said. "I promise I'll stay safe." "I'm your mother," she cried. "I can't just let you go like this." "Amy, please," I said. "If I stay, every street, every corner, every memory, it'll crush me." She sniffed. "At least come see me before you leave." "I will," I said. "I'll come in the morning." When I hung up, Horace looked at me with concern. "You sure you're ready to face her?" "No," I said. "But she deserves a goodbye." He nodded. "Then I'll drive you." I shook my head. "No. I need to do that alone." He exhaled. "All right. But stay here tonight. I don't want you wandering around with a heart like that." I gave him a tired smile. "Thanks for everything, Horace. You're the only thing holding me together." He pointed at me. "Remember something, Denial, this is a chapter, not your whole story." I stared at the ceiling. "I hope so." "You'll rise," he said. "I swear you will." The next morning, I stood outside my mother's door. When she opened it, her eyes were swollen. "Denial, come inside." I stepped in slowly. "Amy." She touched my face. "Why must you go so far away?" "Because I need to start again," I whispered. She hugged me tightly. "I prayed for your marriage every day. I never imagined this." "I didn't either, Amy," I said. "But I can't live in the ruins." She held my hands. "Then promise me you won't lose yourself out there." "I won't," I said. "I'll come back stronger." Her tears fell again. "At least eat before you go." I smiled sadly. "I can't. My flight is soon." "Then let me pray for you," she said, placing her hand on my head. "Allah protect you, Beta." "Amin," I whispered. When I walked out of her house, my chest felt like it was splitting open. But I kept moving. At the airport, I looked at my small bag and murmured, "This is all I have left." The boarding announcement echoed. I took a deep breath. Africa it is. Whatever happens, I won't let anyone break me again. And I stepped onto the plane toward a life I couldn't yet imagine. When the plane landed, I stared out the window and whispered, "So this is Africa, my second chance, I guess." A worker near the gate smiled and said, "Welcome, brother. First time here?" "Yeah," I said. "First time starting over." He laughed. "Then may your feet bring you luck." I stepped into the heat and muttered, "I hope so." At the mining company office, a deep voice called out, "You must be Denial." I turned and saw a tall man with sharp eyes. "Yes, sir." He extended his hand. "I'm Mr. Kofi. I agreed to hire you because your file said you're hardworking. I need men who don't break." "I won't break," I said quietly. "Not anymore." He studied my face. "Pain brought you here?" "Something like that." "Good," he said. "Pain can sharpen a man." But not if he hides from it. I'm not hiding, I said. We'll see, he replied. Follow me. As we walked through the rough site, he said, this company is drowning. Money is tight. Machines fail. Workers quit. If you're here for comfort, you chose the wrong place. I'm here for purpose, I said. He raised an eyebrow. Then work like purpose matters. The first days were brutal. Heat slammed into me like a wall. Dust clung to my skin. Nights were loud with machines and my own thoughts. One evening, while wiping sweat from my face, I whispered, Aisha never would have survived this place. A voice behind me said, most people wouldn't. I turned to see a woman with dark braids and sharp eyes. Sorry, I didn't know anyone else was here. I'm Nia, she said. Financial analyst. I study numbers, but I also study people. Should I be worried? I asked. Only if you're lying about who you are, she said with a small smile. Why does a man with tired eyes work this hard? I need to rebuild myself, I said. Everything I was. It collapsed. She nodded. Then Africa is the right place. This land breaks pride but grows strength. I let out a breath. I hope it grows something in me. It will, she said. If you let it. Days turned into weeks. One morning, I walked into Mr. Kofi's office. Sir, may I suggest something? He looked up. Speak. The waste in the western pit is costing us too much. If we reroute the workers and use the older conveyor system. He cut me off. That system failed 2 years ago. It didn't fail, I said. It was abandoned. I checked. It only needs reinforcement. He leaned back. And you think you can fix it? With a team, yes. He tapped his desk. If this works, you'll save us a fortune. If it fails, you'll waste time we can't afford. I'll take the risk. He pointed at the door. Then go. And don't disappoint me. 2 weeks later, the conveyor roared back to life. Workers cheered. Mr. Kofi walked up to me and said, You did it. We did it, I replied. No, he said. You saw what others didn't. That's leadership. His words hit something deep inside me. Thank you, sir. That conveyor saved us, he said. Investors are calling again. Keep thinking like that. Later, Nia found me outside. I heard you revived a dead machine. I just saw potential. In the machine, she said. And maybe in yourself. I smiled faintly. Maybe. She stepped closer. Africa changes people. Denial. It's changing you. I feel it, I admitted. For the first time in months, I feel alive. That's what happens when you stop bleeding and start growing, she whispered. I looked at the horizon. One day, I want to stand tall again. You will, she said. And when you do, the world won't be ready for you. I breathed in the warm air and whispered to myself, this continent is rebuilding me. And for the first time since my life shattered, I believed it. Denial, come to my office, Mr. Kofi called out one morning. I wiped the dust from my hands and said, Is something wrong, sir? He shook his head. Sit. I have news. My heart tightened. Good news or bad? Good, he said. You've earned a stake in this company. I blinked. A stake? Sir, that's too much. It's not enough, he replied. Your ideas kept us alive. Your discipline moved us forward. A man must own the soil he works for. I exhaled slowly. I don't know what to say. Say you'll keep pushing, he said. Say you won't let success soften you. I won't, I promised. I'll work harder. He smiled. Good. Because we're expanding. Expanding where? Kenya, Tanzania, maybe even South Africa, he said. But we'll need bold strategies. Investors want innovation. I nodded. Then let's give them innovation. Days turned into years of long meetings, harsh negotiations, risky decisions. One afternoon, while reviewing numbers, Nia walked into my office and said, Your face looks like you've been fighting calculators all night. I have, I muttered. This new tech upgrade will cost a fortune, but it'll double our output. So pitch it, she said. I'm not sure the board will approve. She crossed her arms. Since when do you fear rejection? I don't, I said. I just don't want to fail. You won't, she said. You never do. I laughed softly. That's not true. It is in this company, she replied. You're the man who sees light in broken machines. I leaned back. All right. I'll pitch it. A month later, investors clapped after my presentation. One of them said, "Denial, you're a genius strategist." Another added, "Your vision will change mining in this region." After they left, I whispered, "Genius? Me." Nia overheard and smiled. "What, you don't believe it? I'm just a man trying to rebuild his life." "And you're doing more than rebuilding," she said. "You're rising." As profits soared and expansion succeeded, my bank balance grew in ways I couldn't comprehend. One morning, I walked into the office and heard a worker shout, "Boss, check your email." I frowned. "Why? What happened?" "Just check it." I opened the message from a journalist. My breath caught. Forbes Africa, youngest billionaires of the year. And my picture, the same face Aisha once dismissed as a failure, was on the cover. I whispered, "No, this can't be real." Nia stepped in. "I saw it. Congratulations." I stared at the screen. "I don't know how to process this." She came closer. "Then say what you feel." "I feel like the world finally sees me," I said. "But I also feel something else." "What?" "A shadow," I whispered. "The memory of someone who left me for money." "Aisha," she said gently. "Yeah," I muttered. "She wanted wealth. She thought I'd never get there." "And look where you are," Nia said. "But don't let the past drag you back." I rubbed my face. "I'm not trying to. It just hits me sometimes." "It hits everyone," she said. "But you've grown beyond that pain." I nodded. "Maybe. But part of me feels like there's unfinished business." She studied my expression. "Then face it when the time comes. For now, enjoy what you earned." I looked at the Forbes cover again. "I never imagined this." "You didn't imagine it," she said. "You built it." I closed my laptop slowly. "Years ago, I left Pakistan with nothing. Today, I'm a billionaire. And tomorrow," she said, "you'll be even more." I smiled faintly. "Africa rebuilt me." "And you rebuilt your destiny," she replied. For the first time in years, I felt the storm inside me shift. Quiet, waiting, preparing. Something told me my past hadn't seen the last of me. The moment I stepped out of the airport, Horace rushed toward me and shouted, "Denial! Yar, look at you." I laughed and hugged him. "I missed you, Horace." He pulled back and wiped his eyes. "You're actually here. The whole city's talking about you." Denial came back rich. Denial became a billionaire. Bro, people are losing their minds. I smirked. "Let them talk. I'm just here to launch the foundation." He nudged me. "You're still humble. Mashallah. But wait until you see the crowd outside the hotel." "What crowd?" I asked. "People who ignored you before," he said. "Now they want selfies, handshakes, blessings, everything." I sighed. Funny how money changes everyone except the one who earned it. When we reached the hotel entrance, a group rushed toward me. One man shouted, "Denial by. We're proud of you." Another said, "Sir, one photo, please." I raised a hand. "Please, give me space. I'll greet everyone after the press meeting." Horace whispered, "See? You're a celebrity now." "I didn't come here for this," I muttered. "I came to give back." As we walked inside, Horace said, "Your foundation announcement will shake the city. Free education for miners' children. That's huge." "It's the least I can do," I said. "Africa gave me a life. It's time I give something back here too." He smiled. "I'm proud of you, Denial." I took a deep breath. "Feels strange being home again." Strange how. Like the past is watching me, I said. He frowned. What past? I didn't answer. We stepped into the lobby, and my heart froze. Aisha. She stood near the elevator, thinner than before, dark circles under her eyes, clothes wrinkled. She stared at me like she couldn't believe I was real. Horace whispered, "Denial, you okay?" "No," I whispered back. "But I won't break." Aisha walked slowly toward me. "Denial." I looked at her, silent. She swallowed hard. You came back." I said nothing. Her voice trembled. "You look different." Horace stepped aside, sensing the tension. I finally spoke. "Life changes people." She nodded weakly. "Yes, it changed me too." I raised an eyebrow. "I heard." Her eyes filled with tears. "Zion ruined everything. Gambling, affairs, lies. He destroyed our home." "I'm not here to discuss your choices," I said. She reached out. "Please, Denial, just listen." I stepped back. "No. I listened years ago." "You didn't." Her voice cracked. "I made mistakes." "You made decisions," I corrected. "Big difference." She wiped her eyes. "I didn't know you'd become this." "So if I hadn't," I asked, "if I'd stayed broke?" She lowered her head. "I don't expect forgiveness. I just needed to see you." "Well, you've seen me," I said. "Now let me pass." She whispered, "Does it still hurt?" I stared at her for a long moment. "Not anymore. The man you hurt died a long time ago." She flinched. "I'm sorry." "Save it," I said. "I'm not collecting apologies." She stepped aside slowly. "Denial, you look strong." "I am," I replied, "because I learned to stand without anyone." As I walked past, she whispered, "I wish I'd stayed." I didn't turn around. "I'm glad you didn't." Horace caught up to me. "Bro, you handled that like a king." "I handled it like a man who finally knows his worth," I said. "Do you feel okay?" "I feel free," I said. "For the first time." He nodded. "Your past just bowed in front of you." I exhaled slowly. "And I didn't bow back." He grinned. "Now focus on tomorrow. The foundation launch is going to be huge." I looked out the window at the city that once broke me. Yeah. Tomorrow's a new beginning. Inside me, something unlocked, quiet, strong, steady. The power imbalance was gone, and I felt it in every breath. I had just finished reviewing my notes for the foundation event when someone knocked on my hotel door. Horace wasn't supposed to arrive yet. I opened it and froze. Aisha stood there with swollen eyes and trembling hands. "Denial," she whispered. "Please, can I come in?" I stepped back silently. She walked inside and broke down almost instantly. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." I leaned against the table. "Why are you here, Aisha?" She wiped her tears. "Because I made the worst mistake of my life." I kept my voice calm. "That's not my burden anymore." She shook her head violently. "I wasn't thinking. I was stupid, greedy, blind." "Denial, please listen." "I've listened before," I said. "You didn't." She fell to her knees. "I destroyed everything. Zion ruined me. He took my money, lied to me, cheated on me. I have nothing. Nothing." I exhaled slowly. "I'm sorry for your pain. But that doesn't erase mine." She crawled closer. "I thought you'd never succeed. I thought you'd stay the same. I didn't know you'd become this." "That's because you never believed in me," I said. "Not even for a second." She sobbed harder. "I believed in comfort. I believed in security. I didn't believe in love the way you did." I looked down at her. "And now?" "I'd give anything to go back," she whispered. "Denial, can we start again?" I blinked slowly. "Start again?" "Yes," she pleaded. "Please. I know I don't deserve it. But I swear, I've changed. I understand what real worth is now." I shook my head. Aisha, you want to rebuild something you shattered with your own hands. I was scared, she cried. I thought money would save me. Money didn't save you, I said softly. It destroyed you. She looked up at me. And it built you. No, I said. Pain built me. Hard work built me. Africa built me. You had nothing to do with who I am now. She held her chest. Hearing you talk like this, it hurts. Good, I said calmly. Maybe now you'll understand what I felt when you left me for another man. She lowered her head. I was cruel. I know. You weren't cruel, I said. You were careless. And carelessness can break a person worse than cruelty. Her lips trembled. Did you ever hate me? I shook my head. No. I hated myself for not being enough. She sobbed louder. You were enough, Denial. I was the one who wasn't. I sat down on the couch, my voice steady. Do you know what I felt that day? She looked at me with red eyes. Tell me. I felt humiliated, I said. I felt like my heart was ripped out. I felt useless, invisible, broken. I walked around thinking everyone could see the failure stamped on my forehead. She covered her face. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I begged you to talk to me, I continued. I begged you to give me time. You threw my loyalty away like trash. She whispered, I know. I know. And now you want forgiveness, I said. But you're not asking for forgiveness. You're asking for a second chance. She nodded weakly. Yes. I met her eyes. I don't have that to give. Her breath hitched. Is there someone else? I paused. Nia's face flashed through my mind. Her voice, her kindness, her belief in me when I was nothing but dust and exhaustion. That's not the point, I said. Aisha whispered. So, there is. I didn't answer. She stood slowly, shoulders shaking. I destroyed the best thing in my life. You destroyed yourself first, I said. And I can't rebuild you. She took a step back. Will you ever forgive me? I already did, I said. Forgiveness isn't hard. Trust is. She sobbed quietly. Goodbye. Denial. Goodbye, Aisha. She walked out without another sound. And for the first time, the past closed its own door. Horace burst into my room the next morning and said, Denial, guess who just landed? I looked up from my notes. Who? He grinned. Nia. My heart skipped. She came. Here. For your foundation launch, obviously, he said. Also, maybe for you. I frowned. Don't start. He smirked. Bro, she's always cared about you. Don't pretend you didn't notice. I didn't think about it, I muttered. Because you were bleeding, he said. Now you're healing. Big difference. Before I could answer, someone knocked. Horace opened the door dramatically. Speak of the Queen. Nia stepped inside, smiling softly. Hi, Denial. I stood up quickly. Nia, welcome to Pakistan. She laughed. Is that your formal billionaire voice? I shook my head. No. I'm just surprised to see you. Horace whispered, I'll leave you too, and slipped out before I could stop him. Nia walked closer. Your friend is interesting. He's annoying, I said. But he means well. She looked around. You've come a long way from the mining camps. I have, I said. Still trying to understand it. Well, the city is buzzing, she said. Your foundation is the talk of Pakistan. That's good, I replied. I want the project to matter. She studied my face. How are you, really? I paused. Tired. Relieved. Confused. A mix of everything. She nodded. I figured. I saw Aisha leaving your floor last night. I sighed. Of course you did. Did she apologize? Yes. Did it help? I took a slow breath. It closed something inside me. But it didn't change anything. Nia tilted her head. So you're finally letting go? I'm trying, I said. Sometimes I feel strong. Sometimes the old pain still stings. That's normal, she said gently. Healing isn't a race. I gestured toward the balcony. Come. I need some air. We stepped outside, then climbed the stairs to the rooftop terrace. The city lights spread beneath us like a glowing sea. Nia leaned on the railing. It's beautiful. Yeah, I whispered. I used to look at this city and feel like it crushed me. And now it feels small, I said. Like I outgrew the version of myself that lived here. She smiled. That's growth. I turned to her. Nia, can I ask you something? Anything, she said. Why did you always encourage me? Even when I was nothing. She looked straight into my eyes. Because you were never nothing. Denial. You just couldn't see yourself. I swallowed. You really believed in me that much? Yes, she said softly. From the first day you worked under that insane sun. You were broken, but you stood anyway. I respected that. I exhaled shakily. I needed that belief more than I realized. She touched my arm. And now I'm scared, I admitted. Not of Aisha. Not of the past. I'm scared of feeling again. Nia stepped closer. Feeling makes you human, not weak. I've spent years building walls, I said. Now I don't know how to lower them. She took my hand gently. Start with one brick. I looked down at our hands. I don't want to fall apart again. You won't, she said. Strength isn't about winning against others. It's about winning against your own pain. Her words hit me so deeply I couldn't speak for a moment. She continued softly, You don't have to rush. I'm not asking for anything. I just want you to breathe without carrying the weight of your scars. I whispered, You're too kind to me. No, she said. I'm honest with you. Big difference. I laughed quietly. You always have the right words. That's because you listen, she said. We stood there in silence, the wind brushing past us. I finally said, Nia, for the first time in years, my heart feels calm. She squeezed my hand. Good. You deserve peace. I didn't think I'd ever feel it again. You will, she whispered. And I'll stay as long as you need someone to remind you. I looked into her eyes, and something inside me finally relaxed, like a storm settling after years of thunder. Nia, I said quietly, thank you for being here. I wouldn't be anywhere else, she replied. And for the first time since my life shattered, I felt something warm rise in my chest. Peace, not anger. Healing, not revenge. Hope, not fear. The crowd outside the foundation hall stretched farther than I expected. Horace nudged me and said, Denial, you're about to change the city. Ready? I breathed in slowly. As ready as I'll ever be. He laughed. Good. And don't forget to smile. You're the hero today. I'm not a hero, I said. I'm just a man who survived. He grinned. That's exactly why they'll listen. When we stepped onto the stage, the applause rose like a wave. I spotted Nia near the front, smiling proudly. Then, farther back, I saw Aisha, standing alone, wiping her eyes. I didn't let my gaze linger. The host handed me the mic. Sir, the city welcomes you. I nodded and faced everyone. Thank you for coming. Today isn't about wealth or fame. It's about pain, failure, and the strength that grows from them. The audience fell silent. I continued, Years ago, I left this city with nothing but heartbreak. I felt like life had ended for me. But pain taught me something important. If you don't give up, the story doesn't end. Someone shouted, Well said. I smiled slightly. I failed, yes. I lost everything, yes. But failure didn't define me. It rebuilt me. It forced me to rise. And today, I stand here not as a billionaire, but as a man who learned to stand again. I saw Aisha lower her head. I didn't stop. I created this foundation because no child should suffer because of poverty. No dream should die because of circumstance. If I can rise from the ashes, so can they. Applause erupted again. I ended with, Thank you for believing in this vision. And thank you for letting me come home with peace in my heart. When I stepped off the stage, Horace hugged me tightly. Bro, that speech was fire. I laughed. I just spoke the truth. Nia walked over. Spoke the truth? You poured your soul out there. Too much? I asked. No, she said gently. Just enough. Before I could reply, Aisha approached from a distance, but she stopped halfway when she saw Nia beside me. She whispered, "Congratulations," and then walked the other way. I didn't follow her. Nia looked at me. Does seeing her hurt? No, I said. It feels like watching an old photograph. Familiar, but no longer mine. Horace clapped his hands. All right, emotional people, we have a lunch to attend. I shook my head. I have somewhere else to go first. Where? He asked. My mother, I said softly. I need to tell her everything. Nia touched my arm. Do you want company? I nodded. Yeah, I think I do. The graveyard was quiet, the wind soft. I walked to Amy's grave and knelt. Amy, I made it. My voice cracked. I wish you were here to see it, I whispered. I wish you could have heard the applause, seen the people, watched me stand tall again. Nia stood a few steps behind, giving me space. I continued, I know you prayed for me. I know you wanted me to heal. Today, I think I finally did. The wind brushed against my cheek, and for a moment, I imagined her hand there. I'm not broken anymore, Amy, I whispered. I promise. I stood slowly, and Nia walked beside me. She'd be proud of you, she said softly. I hope so, I replied. As we walked toward the exit, she asked, How do you feel now? Lighter, I said. Like the past finally let go. And the future? I looked at her. The future feels open. For the first time. She smiled. Good. You deserve a future. Denial. Not just a story of survival. I chuckled. You always say the right things. No, she said. I just speak to the part of you that's finally listening. We reached the gate, and I stopped. Nia, thank you for walking with me today. Always, she whispered. I looked back once, not at the grave, but at the man I used to be. Then I turned forward. Horace waved from the car. You too done healing the world? I smiled. Just starting. As Nia and I walked together, her hand brushed mine, not claiming, not demanding, just being there. And in that simple moment, I realized something. My past was gone. My heart was whole. My new life had begun.